Hey guys, welcome back to Southern Mudslingers 843. I'm Tim, and as you can see, we're back in the shop today. Today we're going to be doing some product testing from a new company, A UTV PRO. Go check them out online or on Facebook. They can have all your Can-Am Defender needs plus other side-by-sides. Today we're going to be testing their Can-Am Defender HD8 Max fender flares. Alright y'all, before we get started, test fitting these fender flares on the HD8 Max. Make sure you like, follow, share, and check out all our really good sponsors. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, and you can find all those links below. I really liked them because they kind of got these pockets. They kind of remind me of the bushwhacker style fender flares for trucks. So what we want to do is we're going to start on the driver's side. I just kind of want to figure out, how it's going to look. This is about the general look of how it's going to be. So you have your front. This is going to be the lower back, so you can't have a single piece on the back. It's got to be two piece, obviously, because the bed flips up and down. So the back is going to have this mounted to the lower section, and then you have your rear for the bed. The one thing that I did see a little bit of difference is when these two are connected. The only thing I don't like is see how it's pocketed across the top, and then the back is going to have to be drilled from the back side, it looks like. So there are some little divots that Can-Am put into the plastic themselves, which is nice. It kind of gives you a little spot of where you need to drill. We already pre-drilled our four holes along here. We're gonna have to pre-drill that fifth hole when we get there. One thing that I found that works well for me is put your screw all the way through. I'm not tightening it down with my impact driver. I'm just getting it started so you can get it lined up. Take it in about halfway and then start working your way down, and you leave a little bit of a gap. You can look through the back side here where the gap is. You want to get all four of these in before you try to drill that last hole, because you're going to have to bend this down just a little bit. Obviously this is molded with a form of some sort, and the forms over time, they start to lose a little bit, or the plastic starts to come back straight. So you're going to have to form it to the side-by-side however you see fit. So before we get to this last hole, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all 5 of these on this side done, and then go up to that 6th hole up there. May have to adjust a little bit some of the holes. Obviously, when they mass produce these Defenders, the molds are just nipple punched, and they are formed for a certain type of fender flare. Obviously, this is an aftermarket fender. All right, so now that I have all 5 of these pretty well tightened up, there might only be a few turns. When I go finish up, I'm going to use a regular old screwdriver, because these are self-tappers through plastic into plastic, and we all know how self-tappers work. I don't want to strip them out. So what I'll do now is I'll go on the inside, I'll find that little gap that's in there, and I'll send this drill bit through this way, and then bend it down and fit into the hole the way that it needs. All right, so I drilled through the back side. It's hard to see, but it is sitting about a 1/2 inch lower than what this mold is. The nice thing about the molds is the holes are oblong or oval shaped, so that you are able to move it, slide it back and forth to help you with all that. So all I'm going to do is put the screw in there, and you can see I'm putting a little bit of pressure down to get it where we want it, and then we'll get it put down in. If we need to slide it around, we will. Obviously, I'm trying not to tighten it too much with that. There's about 2 finger widths, almost 2.5 between the tires. So as this tire cycles on the trail, I have a feeling that this is actually going to come up and rub. We are planning on putting a bigger lift on this buggy, so that will alleviate that. Stay tuned for another video where we put on a 2-inch bracket lift as well. So just like the front, there is also divots there. Let's see if you can see, there's one there, one right here, one right here, one right here. And then we also are gonna have to use one of these holes back here for this bottom mount. Okay guys, so here's what I decided. I like these fender flares. They look good. Here's one thing that I'm not a fan of. When you go to put this one on here, and you marry it up like this, the holes that they have pre-drilled here, or the little nubs where you're supposed to drill the holes, they do not match up with the mounting spots on the fender flares themselves. So that's gonna make it very difficult to figure out how to mount it tight. Also, when you put it up there, there's still a gap. Now I'm sure it'll tighten down, but it's still more of a gap there than what I really want. And I don't know, it's okay looking, but I like this look. This look just really appeals to me. The one thing that I know people are gonna say is, oh, you're gonna get mud through the front. Honestly, a lot of our mud when we spin the tires comes up from the top and comes up this way. We don't get a lot this way, so I'm not really worried about that. Right, y'all, we got all the fender flares on that I wanted to put on. I'm not gonna be doing that middle section like I said, but honestly, I think it looks really good out here the way that it is sitting. I don't even think you can really notice that anything's particularly missing. Check out this other side. Looks good, no gaps. Very happy with it. We're gonna take it down the road and see how it looks. All right, now that we're back from our ride, you can see that we weren't able to hit too deep of mud out there just because it's been really dry lately. Haven't had a whole lot of rain, but we were able to find some sand and a little bit of mud. Very pleased with how the cab didn't get any mud in it. Kicked it up, but kicked it out once it hit those fender flares. If you're looking for a set of fender flares from A UTV PRO, make sure you check out the link in the description, and we'll see you next time.